gentlemen, it is time for our late presentation. He is the first guy that's going to present for us, who's representing
That's right.
today for you and Nick. Let's give him a hand for that. And let's give Andrew our undivided attention for the next major technological revolution. You want to back it up and do it again?
No.
Okay.
It's one important plan.
All right, let me make sure.
Nothing wrong yet. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Muriel Strode, 1903. Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Doing good? Everyone good with the temperature? It's all good? Okay.
I want to change.
Okay. Housekeeping stuff. We all know where the restroom is, I'm sure. Go out there, take the left down the hallway. It's on your left. Have fun. And, yeah, my name is Andrew. Nice to meet you all. This is something I'm really passionate about for the past few years. And just, you don't need to know too much about me, to be honest with you. But my background is in economics. That will come into play. Now, what am I presenting you guys about today? The next major technological revolution. Oh, it worked. Okay. I took a chance there. And that's my name. Okay, so a good question to ask. What is this next major technological revolution? Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's going to be a quiz. There's going to be a quiz after the class. And it's not like a traditional quiz. It's going to be, is anyone not familiar with Kahoot? Everyone's familiar with Kahoot? Everyone's good? It's like an interactive quiz. So it's not like on paper or anything. It's like, it's going to show like an invite code up there, and all you guys will use your phones, and then you'll join in, and then it's going to be on your phones. Like the questions won't appear up there, but it will show the live leaderboard, because whoever wins, whoever gets the most points, and it takes into account how quickly you answer the questions as well, not just the right answers. But whoever gets the highest score will get a cash prize of $100.
You won.
No.
That's crazy.
If you guys want that money, I would recommend taking notes, because this is a lot of information, admittedly. You don't need to know everything, so don't get overwhelmed, guys. But all the information is important, in my opinion. This topic will affect all of us in our lives, and not just us, globally as well, and including the people who are not yet born, too. So pretty big. Let's get started. So what is this next technological revolution called? That's a pretty good question, right? I'm not telling you guys yet, okay? It's classified information, but this isn't just for jokes. There's a big reason why I'm doing this. It's going to get revealed later in this presentation. But I guarantee every single one of you has heard of what this next revolution is called. Every one of you has heard of the name, the actual name. But it's not getting revealed yet. But it will.
Can we guess?
No. Just enjoy the experience.
All right.
So when the big reveal happens, I'll warn you guys, it's going to be epic, okay? So, but it will still be referred to as something. And what is that something? The cipher. Okay? It's not the real name, it's a code name. So whenever you see the cipher, just know we're talking about the next major thing. Okay? So, starting off, what is a technological evolution? Not a revolution, an evolution. An evolution is a gradual, incremental, small improvement on an already existing technology. For example, the iPhone. Who here owns an iPhone? Who here does not own an iPhone?
I would be embarrassed too.
Everyone owns an iPhone?
Andrew doesn't own one.
Yeah, I know that. Alright, so, nice little chart there, just showing the progression from various iPhones. 6, 7, 8, it's random numbers, but you get the point. There's a picture there. It's just very gradual. It's nice, maybe better battery life. Can anyone name any other gradual improvement that these products offer?
The camera.
Yeah, that's a big one. Maybe it's a better feel, slightly bigger, or maybe people start complaining about the size and get smaller, and that's better. So, that's an evolution. Take note of that. But, this is the big brother of an evolution. This is very serious stuff. These rarely happen. This is a technological revolution, not an evolution. And this is a major disruptive phenomenon affecting how every single one of us lives our lives on the day-to-day. For example, the internet. When the internet was a baby in the 1990s, it wasn't actually called the internet. People didn't know what to call it too. Like, there wasn't consensus, if you will. They actually called it the information superhighway. Does that ring a bell, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh. And the actual birth of the internet is a little bit iffy, but they have come to a conclusion that it's 1983. That's when they say it was born and created. And it still exists to this day. That's good. In my opinion, these revolutions, they're always going to exist as long as humanity exists. They're not going to go away as long as we don't go away. Okay? And look at that picture. That's from the 1990s. Who here, Becca, I'm picking on you. Who would, looking at that picture, easy question. Who would you say that image is marketed towards, would you say?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's surfing, he's having fun. It's not seen as a serious movement or something people can use. Not for adults, not for communication, email, business, things like that. So, just, they're not taking it seriously. But of course they were wrong. Now let's do a little time travel. Has anyone time traveled before? It's fun. So let's do this. 1995, 30 years ago, I was -5 years old. So I didn't experience this myself, but it's always fun going back in history, just seeing, how people respond to these revolutions when they're babies. So let's see. And it might be a little loud, so prepare. It's like 2 minutes. Please play.
Millions of Americans own a personal computer. If you're one of them, you can now glimpse the future with nothing more than a modem, a phone line, and a few dollars a month.
That little mark with the A and then the ring around it?
At?
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about,
Yeah. Oh.
but I've never heard it.
Around.
I've never heard it
Okay.
said. I've seen the mark, but never heard
Yeah.
it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at NBC.
Just what is this main artery of information superhighway?
Every business, no matter how large, no matter how small, will be on the internet in the year 2000. It's the primary way that people will look up information. It will replace the yellow pages as we know it today.
Are a lot of people just getting on to the internet because they feel that they have to get out of the playing field, so to speak?
But it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
There it is. Violence at NBC, GE.com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know.
what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Internet is that massive computer network, the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does what do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it to communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC, Grindr, speakers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
I'm afraid that if I subscribed to something like internet, you would really be hooked. I would get hooked and I would never, spend time with my family. Do you does it bother you at all that these are all people that you don't really know? I mean, if everybody's, signing on and having these conversations and whining together or griping together or whatever, with people that, I don't know, if I...
It was group therapy of the 90s.
Well, as I mentioned, I have no desire to be a part of the internet because I feel like I'm so inundated with information all the time that I don't want more. Don't you ever feel like it's just constant bombardment?
I don't know, I guess the thing I resent most is I would resent that, at least when you're home, if the phone rings, you have the option of not answering it. On the internet, people can send you messages all the time you don't even want to hear from.
Pretty good point, to be honest. Yeah, they have good points, but the main thing to take away from this is that they had no idea how much this would change the world, and including their lives. That's the point. So, I think it's on the next line. So, what is y'all's reaction to that video?
I'm just not with Laura and Katie Kirk.
It's the Today Show.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of that was very predictive. It was almost like they were prophets. She said, I don't want to be on the internet because it would consume me.
Right.
I wouldn't have time with my family. Sometimes when I come home and my daughter, granddaughter, or whoever is at the house, they're sitting down, everybody's eating, and they're sitting at the table. But my granddaughter has headphones on, and she's looking at something. My daughter's scrolling. But are we really engaging with each other if we are sitting at the table and we're looking at our phones? So that was kind of like she looked in the crystal ball and predicted the future.
That's true. Yes, you brought up a good point. Anyone else? I think Jennifer.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there were several of the clips that said, what is this thing? I don't like it. It's weird. It's different. And that impulse to just like, it's foreign and is just like, I think a natural human reaction when we are not as familiar with the type of technology.
Right, right. And I think the main takeaway from this is that we need to be humble in the face of things that we do not understand. So that's good advice in life. Doesn't have to just be with technology, just with anything in general. Formative question, number 1. Shakitra, what is, just any difference, what is the difference between a technological evolution and a technological revolution?
Okay, so going off what you said before, evolution is something that changes over time and might get better. And then revolution is a disruptor.
Correct. That's the main thing. Please take a note of that. That might have been right. So, initial hostility and doubt. That's a key theme with these revolutions. And it's not just with the internet. I didn't have time to talk about all the other beautiful ones, like the automobile, the electricity itself, the steam engine, the printing press. There's many examples. But just with the internet. First of all, these revolutions, every single time, they sound absolutely nuts. Okay? There's no way that these revolutions can take over the world and consume our lives on how we live our lives. And society initially feels threatened by these revolutions. Why do they feel threatened? Because most people are hesitant for huge changes that change how they live their lives. People are resistant to big change, just naturally. And it makes sense to them. It's huge. But the internet was no exception to these rules. Some examples of this. 1998, and the year I was born, 2000. So in 1998, this fellow right here, his name is Paul Krugman. You don't need to know his name, to be honest. I don't really like him. But he's a Nobel Prize winning economist. Many people would consider him pretty smart, especially with economics, concerning economics. He said, by the year 2005 or so, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machine.
Well,
So-
zero.
Yeah. But this shows the key takeaway here is that even very smart people can totally miss these revolutions. It has nothing to do with intelligence. Some people have their niches and how they become successful in life. And some people are just not good at looking out into the future, for example. And another one, this is a famous newspaper article from 2000. The internet may just be a passing trend or fad, as literally everyone gives up on it. So obviously, these people are wrong. It sounds crazy. Not going to happen. But now, the interesting big question of the day. So, the internet was the last major technological revolution that we lived through. What is the next one? There's the cipher again. Sound familiar? That's the code name for it. All of you have heard of the real name of what it's called. We are living through it right now, but most are completely unaware of it. And this is my opinion, of course. I'm trying to do an impossible thing, which is predict the future. It's pretty hard to do, but it's going to be fun. We're going to take a stab at it. And to understand its significance of this next revolution, we must first learn about the biggest problems with our current financial system. You knew it was coming. So now, massive problem number one is inflation. Who here absolutely loves inflation? Loves the prices of food and energy and everything in your life getting more expensive and more unattainable every single month, every single year of your life? Anyone, please raise your hand. Okay, good. That's what I was listening. So now, the reason why inflation exists, the reason it's a problem, here's a little secret. The money that we all use, the US dollar, is broken to its core. How is it broken? Everything is supply and demand in life and in economics, especially. The US dollar has no supply limit, and this results in infinite money printing. This is the core reason for inflation. And the money printing must continue to keep the system from absolutely imploding and not existing anymore. So they have to continue doing inflation, unfortunately. And here's another secret. A lot of people wonder, is this inflation thing a temporary thing? Will it go away someday? Unfortunately not. At least with the system as we currently know it. Inflation, unfortunately, with ebbs and flows over time, will get worse over time. It's very depressing, but it's mathematically guaranteed once you learn about it. And what gives the US dollar that we use value in the first place? It turns out a very weak foundation. It's backed by thin air, debt, and a blind trust in government. And you may like the people in government, that's okay. That can happen, of course. But they're still human at the end of the day. And humans always make mistakes. That's inevitable. Even if they don't happen to be corrupt, even though most of them aren't, then they're going to make mistakes. And that's not a good foundation for our current monetary system. But the cipher fixes this entirely. What the heck is this thing? It has zero inflation. It does not exist due to a finite supply limit. We know exactly how many units of the cipher will ever exist into eternity. There's no inflation. There's no printing of additional units. No inflation. If a person holds the cipher, prices get cheaper over time. It doesn't get more expensive over time. It makes sense because we're advancing technologically. Shouldn't things be getting cheaper and better for all of us when it's the exact opposite? That doesn't make sense. The cipher is leaderless. It's not controlled by a CEO, a government, a nation, a group, a person. No leader. The leaders are the users themselves in this case. Very intuitive. It's also the strongest, most secure computer network on Earth. And it's not even close, to be honest. And it's because of that, it's unhackable. No one can hack it, including nations, including if the worst case scenario, nations somehow came together and tried to attack this thing. They can't do it because it's decentralized. That's a key term. Has anyone heard of that word? Decentralization? Okay. So what does that mean? It's not centralized, basically. But what does not centralized mean? Think of it like there is no heart to the cipher. If you're a bad actor or a hacker, there's nothing to attack or focus on, nothing to exploit and take advantage of. No central point. Massive problem number two, poor financial inclusion. This gets overlooked in my opinion, especially in the United States. We need to check our financial privilege, in my opinion, because 1.4 billion people around the world have no banks. We all have banks, but I think we take that for granted because nearly 1/4 of the entire world does not have a bank. They're unbanked. And as a result, these people cannot participate in the global financial system, even if they wanted to. This causes a cycle of poverty with no hope of escape for them. And a key question you might ask, why doesn't anyone help them out? Like the people in Africa, in these impoverished nations around the world. Why doesn't governments or powerful companies, why don't they help them out? The brutal truth is because of profit. It's simply unprofitable to do so. No matter how much you wanted to help them out, you can't, because it's too expensive to help an entire nation or continent. It's too expensive, under our current system at least. But the cipher fixes this too. How does it fix it? Due to the cipher not having to rely on anyone, like banks or governments, the cipher allows for everyone to take part in the global financial system for the first time ever. And adoption, or use, of the cipher is exploding in numerous nations around the world, including right here in America. Although it's particularly booming in these countries because they really need to use the cipher to survive. But we don't really need to use it to survive. It's just the best option financially for us. But we'll get to that. Massive problem number 3, last one of the massive problem. There's so many problems with our current financial. Don't get me started. But the massive problem number 3, rising home prices. Who here relates to that? Okay. Yeah. So if you happen to save your money solely in your bank, like all your money, that's not sustainable. I mean, it can work a little bit, but your purchasing power over time will get worse due to inflation. But as a result of this phenomenon, many wealthy investors, they buy homes not to live in it, which in my opinion is what it's meant to be for, to live in a home, right? Makes sense. But these people, these wealthy investors buy homes not to live in it, but to protect their wealth from inflation. And this leads to all these homes getting bought up. They're not living in it, but it leads to a shortage. There's not as many homes on the market for us to buy and live in. And this leads to rising home prices because there's not as many homes going on. So it's more valuable. So some facts. Last year, the average U.S. home price was $404,000. For 99% of us, good luck trying to afford the down payment on that or the mortgage payments. And next year, it's a little bit higher, $410,000. Anyone have any questions so far? I know it's a lot of information, and I'm trying to get through this, but everyone's good? Oh, Courtney.
So, to also take into account of that is the percentage rates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's another part of our current financial system, the interest rates controlled by the Federal Reserve. But unfortunately, I can't get into everything. I really want to.
We can tell.
Yeah. I annoy my family, by the way. Like, I always talk about this. They're like, Andrew, can you shut up? Right. The cipher fixes this too. Can you believe it? Long-term savings in the cipher. If you put, I'm not talking about all your money. You don't have to do that. Just some of your money. Results in home prices for you getting vastly cheaper over time. The heck? What is it? Homes get increasingly bought by people who want to live in them and not invest in them. That's how it should be, in my opinion. And increased use of the cipher will result in the housing shortage improving, not just for the people using the cipher or buying the cipher because it's something you can buy. It also improves the shortage for everyone in the entire economy, the more it's adopted as an asset. And housing gets much more affordable for everyone. This is an actual legit solution to the problem. Now, any questions on the cipher or the major problems with our current financial system?
Do you see any resolution coming to the current problems we have?
The cipher. All right, simple.
I was hoping it was actually to say, like,
Well, I can't say much about it, but I think you guys have learned enough about the basics of the cipher. All right? You guys ready? Okay, so as of now, up until this point, it's been referred to as the cipher. Please raise your hand if anyone has, no one say anything about it, no one say what you're thinking, because it's going to get reviewed. But please raise your hand if you think you have a relatively good idea of what the cipher. Oh, okay, everyone? Okay, well, I'm very interested to see your reactions to this. So,
Oh, God.
Like
Like
I said,
when the cipher is revealed.
yes. Hopefully this works, okay? If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go back and fix it. All right, it's time to take the lights off, guys.
Oh, gosh.
Completely off. Absolute darkness.
Let me call FRN.
All right, presentation. My students are ready to be shown what the cipher is actually called. So do your thing and show them when you are ready. Okay, it's not working. The darn sound system. Okay. Let's see.
I'm scared of that.
I thought I was gonna waste my car.
I thought somebody was popping
I
out.
know. Is the sound on the wall working?
Yes.
That got really dark.
Yeah, I should turn the light. Oh, I can't see.
Oh, maybe now.
I'll turn the lights on quickly.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, I kind of like this lighting.
No, this isn't.
Did you turn it, you didn't unplug it or anything, did you?
No, this is plugged up.
Make sure to turn it off and turn it on. No. The presenter, the clicker,
Yeah.
turn it on and turn it off and see if it's,
Is this switch on the side?
there it's working, I just saw the laser. So now you should be able to move it. The cipher is not ready to be revealed.
It does.
Did maybe the battery?
I just saw, hit the laser on the, let me bring it here. I think I just saw it working.
Is there a light supposed to show it's on? Battery's not.
So it's on, and there's the pointer, so it's working,
Trying to go back.
and the light is on.
Andrew, are you in presentation mode on your?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Get it?
What if you go?
Can my time pause?
Yeah.
Little extension.
Andrew, try going out of presentation mode and going back into presentation.
Yes, that's what I'm So hit escape.
Can you guys not look at the screen because it might show what it's actually?
When you do it,
So-
Working.
So, now.
Did anyone see that?
I saw nothing.
No, you saw no.
Well, broke my hand.
Be nice.
All right, so here's what we can do. Is this.
Still don't.
Okay, so get yourself together. Y'all broke my hand.
It's that important. Don't look.
Okay, enable content. Okay. Save. Let's go ahead and hit save. All right, now go to where you need to go. Right there. Nobody can see.
Let me go to this side.
All right, so now let me look up here. And let's see. I'm gonna go backwards. Okay, so now we're working.
Okay.
All right. This is your phone, right? Okay. I'm gonna have to get a workers' comp. Man, I think he's raining. Shut that computer down on my hand.
Because sound is a very critical element to this moment.
All right, let's see if it works.
Please. Still no sound?
Did we turn it from the wall here?
No, I didn't turn it down.
Oh, okay, so I'm not sure why it won't.
Okay, don't look, don't.
Just unplug your thing.
Yeah, unplug. I'm looking. It says the connection is like loose on the HDMI.
I am perfect.
This has fixed it before, just unplugging it.
All right, let's see what happens. I know you don't want to miss it.
This is gold bars, right?
You wasn't supposed to say that.
Gold bars?
Yeah, you was.
No.
So if it don't do the sound, we'll keep moving.
Just saying.
Just keep on moving, keep moving.
Wait, was there a
Ah.
song with it?
He wanted the sound to go in. We're gonna keep moving, Andrew.
All right, well, I'll turn off.
That's what happens.
Maybe you can make the sound.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun.
All right.
I was really hoping the sound was gonna be the connecting of the internet back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's so cute.
Andrew, we can't make the sound. We gotta keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'll turn off the lights. All right, let's go.
All right.
Okay. So just imagine a very epic sound, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Give us a drum roll, everybody.
All right, here we go.
Okay, Andrew. All right,
What is it? Show us. Ah. Who got it right? Who got it wrong?
I guess cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I hadn't specified Bitcoin.
We're gonna get into that. The difference between the two.
Oh.
All right. I actually have a little thing I bought off of Etsy. It's a little thing, if you can see
We
it.
need the lights.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
Thanks.
Okay. Maybe keep it to the lowest setting, or whichever's good for people.
How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I bought that a couple years ago. It's Bitcoin. The cipher is Bitcoin. Now, I got into Bitcoin 3 years ago, and since then, I'm absolutely obsessed with it in my personal life. It's absolutely consumed me. Not just because of the financial aspect of it, but the humanitarian aspects of it, and how it will help the world. Some quick facts about Bitcoin. Nice little dog. Created in 2009, so 16 years ago, it was the first and oldest cryptocurrency. The current price is $96,000 for just one Bitcoin. And last I checked, it actually hit $98,000 this morning, and then it went down to 97. It's very volatile, but yeah. Highest ever price it ever hit, $109,000, pretty recently. Just 3 weeks ago, actually. And it was really epic when it crossed $100,000 for the first time in history. So that was fun. And I actually recorded my live reaction to it. I uploaded it to YouTube too. It was fun. Here's a secret. Multiple countries, large wealthy countries, at least half of the entire United States, like state pension funds and people with a lot of money, and the largest asset managers on earth, which manage literally trillions of dollars, are trying to get as much as Bitcoin as possible. They're trying to accumulate as much as possible because there is only a finite amount that will ever exist. And they know about it. And another interesting fact, it is always open. So if you want to use it and send a transaction to anyone in the world, it's open 24/7, 365, unlike our current financial system, which they might say it's a bank holiday, or it's an actual holiday, or it's in the middle of the night, it's on a weekend, you can't do what you want to do because we said so. But no, you don't need permission to use this. It's up to you. You have a question?
If Bitcoin is like electronic currency, how is there only a finite amount?
That is really interesting. This was one of the biggest problems that computer scientists and programmers were trying to solve for the past few decades. Because when we think of something digital, we think of infinite copies of things, infinite images, infinite everything. So how can something digital be finite? Unfortunately, I can't get into the specifics of it because I probably have like 2 minutes left. But
You really don't even have that. You're like, wrap it up, time is over.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it comes down to the fact that it's a network, a global network, and all of the nodes, it's a technical term, you don't need to know what it's meant, but that's the term, and they all have to agree on what this network, what the rules are for this network. And none of the participants of the network are ever going to vote, like majority vote, for increasing the supply. That just wouldn't make sense. Why would you voluntarily vote to make your wealth less valuable?
There's not an availability of resources, it's a kind of control thing.
Yes, yes. But that control is not controlled by, again, a person, a CEO, it's leaderless. It's controlled by the users themselves.
So what you're saying is Bitcoin, you're not gonna be able to buy it eventually, once you
No.
sell so many shares. So then how is it controlled if you can constantly buy however many shares?
There will always be Bitcoin available online, on exchanges, because people will always sell it because they gotta live their lives. They need food, they need something they wanna buy, they want a service they want. They're gonna sell, there's always gonna be Bitcoin available. But the less Bitcoin available to buy on the market, the more the price will go up for everyone that owns it.
Yeah, so if nobody's selling, then you can't buy it.
Yeah, in that scenario. But there will always be people selling because there will always be the economy and people living life. And you could own parts of a Bitcoin too. You don't have to own a whole Bitcoin. You could just buy, a lot of people, they might get stumped on that. They think, oh, I gotta buy a whole Bitcoin, it's $96,000, how can I ever afford that? But you can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin or $20, $100, whatever. But here, this is a very important slide. A lot of people really misconstrue and confuse the rest of cryptocurrency, all those other coins that you've heard of, all those meme coins, Dogecoin. Has anyone heard of Dogecoin? Shiba Inu? It's question.
No, I heard both of them.
Yeah. Yes. Point is, there's literally thousands of these other coins. But I thought that there was no difference between Bitcoin and everything else when I first got into it. But then I learned it's everything. It's very, very different. And they're completely different things, turns out. Bitcoin has no leaders, but crypto is controlled by founding teams, and it's littered with scams that you can't trust. Bitcoin was never hacked. It's literally impossible to do so because of how secure it is and powerful as a network. Downtime occurs multiple times with all those other cryptocurrencies, including Ethereum and literally everything. If you guys have heard of Ethereum. Bitcoin has a finite supply, but all the rest of cryptocurrency is very similar to our current financial system. It's unlimited and not sound. And Bitcoin has no marketing department because it has no founding team. But cryptocurrency, they have tons of marketers. I'm sure you guys have seen ads and stuff on social media or online. They're all trying to get you to buy their coin online. But those are the founding teams just trying to take your money, basically, and invest in their coin because it's the next right thing. When actually, Bitcoin was the solution in the very beginning. Can anyone name, let's go with Mari. Hello. Can you name 2 ways from the last slide that Bitcoin is different from everything else?
Well, so you mentioned that it was either leaderless.
Yes.
As well as, there's a finite amount, which is at 21 million.
Yes. Very good. Yeah. Very good. 2 ways. And this is the last one. How much higher can Bitcoin's price go? It's already at $96,000. Can it go to $150,000? $200,000? How high are we talking? How are we late to Bitcoin? Well, let's see a nice little visualization. So there's Bitcoin. Nice little circle here. This is $2 trillion. That is the total amount of value that Bitcoin as a whole holds. Another word for that is market capitalization, but that won't be on the quiz at all. Now, how higher can Bitcoin? That's gold, okay? As you can see, Bitcoin's very small. It's a baby. It's not like it's reached its maximum price at all. In fact, it's insanely early. Don't let the high price deceive you guys. But gold was big before. Now here's gold compared to the next biggest giant in the world. That's the entire stock market. And Bitcoin is coming for all these guys over the next years and decades. It won't fully envelop all these giants, but it'll take a lot of value from all these assets and markets. But that's the stock market, and that's the real estate market. The real estate market is the largest market in the world in terms of how much money is in the market. And Bitcoin's coming for all of these. So for comparison, how big does Bitcoin look compared to the biggest giant of them all? Right there. So as you can see, Bitcoin has a lot of time and room to grow. And in my opinion, yes, in our lifetimes for sure, Bitcoin will be as big as the real estate circle right there. Sounds insane. Again, this is how it's supposed to feel, these revolutions. But that's how it is. Now, this darn audio is not working, so this was going to be one more moment. But, you know, keep going, guys. Lesson in life. I have, anyone have any questions on the presentation?
If you were to get into Bitcoin, what, in your opinion, how would you start?
If you want to, I never recommend people to just buy Bitcoin without learning about it, because it's important to understand what you're investing your money into. What I would recommend is, if you're naturally interested in owning some, just learn about it. Search the basics of it, and then once you are comfortable yourself, personally, with your finances, then you can buy some if you like. And I wouldn't say dive big right in the beginning. Just dip your toes in a little bit, see how it feels, how it makes you feel. That's what I would recommend. That's how I started. Anyone else? All right. Well, the inspirational, motivational, epic music was supposed to play in this next one, because to end off this presentation, I'd like to give a speech, a closing statement. The music's probably not going to play. Okay. In life, the most transformational moments often come from those willing to think differently. And I encourage all of you to step outside the comfort zones that society sets. Never stop learning, never stop questioning, and never let fear dictate your path. Because the future belongs to everyone and those bold enough to shape it. Now with that said, I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you for your time. Some darn music, man. I'm telling you.
You know what, even, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was pointing at the camera.
Even though you had some technical difficulties, you're still a showman, and you still made it really enjoyable.
I tried my best.
So are you gonna do the Kahoot?
Oh, yes.
All right, can we get some lights?
Yeah.
I'm happy to get the lights.
Oh, okay.
But we need to see.
Do you believe in conspiracy theories?
It depends. Certain information changes over time, so at one point it might be seen as a conspiracy theory and crazy, but as more information gets revealed, turns out certain things are true. But yeah, a lot of people view Bitcoin as a conspiracy theory itself, just like how they view the internet as a crazy conspiracy theory as well. That's how these revolutions act through society. But yeah, very cool. Any other questions? Okay. Let's take the quiz. Okay. At least this is one. Battery saver's on, but don't let that fool you. I set that to pop up when the battery hit 30%, so there's 30% remaining in the battery.
I almost put me that one.
Oh. I'm telling you, this HDMI.
You cannot sit by me, you gonna do it. What's wrong?
The HDMI is not.
It's, yeah, I, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta be patient, grasshopper.
I'm excited. Okay, so to join this quiz, please, if you can scan that QR code, try doing that. But if you can't scan it, try to go to joinmyquiz.com, and then it should prompt you with a code to enter. All right? So let me know if anyone's having. Oh, good job, Axel.
Suspension. 2, 5, 6.
Nick 1.
And a 5.
How do I change my name? How do I name it?
Oh.
It's so long since I've done this.
I don't think, it might give you an option, but if you can't see it,
It
then,
doesn't show them on here, I don't think.
what did you put in, the number?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's you.
Well, where am I at? It
You
doesn't
see
say
that
my
number?
It shows you there.
You see that?
Oh!
That's
I
you.
thought I had
That's
to
your
put that
nickname now.
number join. Oh. Hold on, Andrew, I'm trying to make it fun. Okay. Okay.
So we got 9 participants,
How many
and
people
we
are
should have
there?
11. All right, there we go. All right.
Okay. So I'm gonna start this quiz. Again, it should be playing fun music, but it should show the questions on your phones. So go ahead, and it should show the leaderboard, the live score of who is in first place and stuff. So again, the winner gets 100 buckaroos.
Wish you already spit that money on meals and bread.
Oh wait, look at your phone. I think you should.
I don't have anything.
You know. Keep going, guys.
I help you, but you gotta split it with me.
Oh, nice, thanks. Perfect. And we can talk about the questions after. Look at that, 94% class accuracy. Very good, guys, I'm proud of you. Ashley's first place. Who's gonna catch her? Hope I didn't jinx that, Ashley. Mari's trying to make a little run. Jennifer? Woo. 93% accuracy. Good job. Ashley, you're looking, you're like, please no one catch me. Jennifer's trying. Or she has 10 questions, so she's done. Yeah, timing takes into account too. When it's done, it'll show the winner when it's done.